Do not see me here.
Sorry, I was just smiling from ear to ear. Nothing like smell of a hot sawzall blade in the morning. Victor is stoked. And he had a list, and he was checking it twice. So we're going to start off by taking these two rear fenders off. I went in and trimmed a lot of this stuff out. You remember it was a real rough cut up into what was the sidewall on the roof. So I also went through here with the cutoff wheel. Almost got the entire fender off. So we're going to pop both the Cadillac fenders off and mock up the Zephyr. We'll compare the shapes. Look at the gray fender against the wall. Just a much more elegant down-sloping design than this one. And I know Victor wasn't real crazy about my mock-up fake exhaust pipe thing, so we're gonna take it all off. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just another day on the job. Some people might know, or they might not know, that I made these fender skirts. This is actually a Volkswagen roof that I made a wooden template and hammered my own wheel skirts out of. So for the filming, again, I just tack welded them on. No proper hardware, because that's how we roll. So I'm just going to cut them off. So I was pretty proud of these. It's a real simple thing, but red, just like the color of our Volkswagen project. So Victor was saying, yeah, I might want wide rims in the back, but look at those rims. Those are the typical like D-slot circle track car, style rims. So those are 16 by 8. It's a pretty good size tire in there. So he could probably go to a 12-inch wide rim if he wanted to. There's a lot of room in there. Let's cut off the other one. What I think is I'm going to mock up both rear fenders to start fabricating. There's going to be a challenge in the way they come down into the body. So you can see how loose everything is because it really was just a mock-up that we started driving. No fender braces inside or anything. Black Widows, not today.
Oh, wow.
There was a Black Widow in our bathroom.
Where?
In the wall.
In the wall?
Oh, wait a second. You got one? No, not a Black Widow, but definitely a desert spider. Yeah, I was hanging out right on the edge of the molding. So that's what got me on Black Widow alert. That's not a Black Widow, but definitely. Spider season. Look. Not Black Widow. That one gets a pass. I mentioned that I already went through and pre-cut all this. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So let's not make it look too easy. Well, there's one less pristine 38 Cadillac fender in the world. Save them taillights.
So what would you do like with that? You'll just keep it or?
Yeah, I would do something with it someday. You can see with the air suspension, I set it all the way down, so that's about all we got. No spiders.
Eesh.
No, we're really down to the bare minimum now. Looks really long in the back without fenders on. It's just like hanging out. So we're not looking at the wheel opening. We're looking at the tail end of the fender. He was saying he wanted this hanging way back. So you can see that fender's going to have to get stretched significantly. But he also said that he wanted it kind of outside of this. So I think we're on par here. Set that pretty much right there, width-wise. So you can see that fender, I mean, the tire really sinks way in at that point. So we're going to have to make this longer. How much longer? I don't know. Let's set up that other fender and take a look. So you got about a, wow, 5.5 inch wider on the rear. Just make it 5 even on both sides. It's 5 right through that hole.
I kicked it on accident.
5. Rough, just to get a look. So yeah, that brings them out past there pretty well. And we don't really need this on. You see the only thing holding it on at this point is these 2 little buttons. So we won't even consider that the end of the car. We could bring this really far in if we want to. This was set up for the big square Cadillac back. So if we do a boat tail or something, these fenders are hanging really far out. Almost makes you want to put the axle further back, a longer wheelbase, but the skirts will accommodate for that. It looks very awkward right now with the tire placement, but it's what the man wanted. It's going to really depend. It's going to rely on having the skirts to give it that look. It's really far back from the axle. I don't think I've ever built a car with a potential bumper this far away, but that's where we're at. So what he liked was this like raised up, you know, he always described it as kind of like, you know, it's like it's hunched down, right? You got this in the fender. See the way the front comes up? You wanted to see more of that in the rear fenders. So we're going to lift them up on these spacers. We came up with a 2-inch measurement by using these rubber blocks. So pretty much about that height. Yeah. So see, you wanted this peak, you want it to come down like that. So I think I'm going to start with this one. Just going to put a couple straps just to hold it. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. We're going to try to do something on the English wheel.
You know I like the English wheel.
Thank you, Jamie, for encouraging that.
Ian shies away from the English wheel, and I'm always like, why don't you use the English wheel? Why don't you use the English wheel?
Well, one thing is I like to do work here that is kind of like every man's ability, right? If you're just in your shop with limited tools, that's kind of a specialty. And also,
what's the real reason?
You're going to see me live practicing, actually learning, not knowing, not being able to tell you anything. It's like, I think this is what we do. So right here, I'm just going to make a little quick strap. You can see this car is really dirty inside and out. Victor has a nice blasting machine, that dustless blaster. So all this, the engine's going to come out of this. The car's going to get flipped and cleaned. So just roll with it. Never mind all the tidiness. Cut a few 5-inch straps and just try to position this. With any luck, it's a 10-inch piece. Oh, 9. Is it a 10-inch piece? 9. It is not, but we need 2 5s. Ooh, standing next to that thing makes me nervous. It's a great asset.
At least you don't have just like clothes hanging on it.
If it was my old shop and I lived in my shop, that would have been a great clothes rack. I had a 29 Ford sedan in my old shop that just kind of never got finished. It traveled around, and that was known as my clothes rack. Had all the wooden slats in the roof. I would just hang everything on the slats. There's no roof top. Gotta do what you gotta do. So we want this 5 inches from where it used to be. So we're just gonna do that. Yeah. It actually looks too far. I'll pull that in. What do you think?
Didn't he want it out further than the front?
You want it out as far as the running board, yeah. Let me just spot this on and see. So this wants to come in like that. Looks like the front should come in a little bit. I've mentioned this more than a few times, like this wall scenario, right? You have a vertical wall up against the car. Does it look like the basic shape of the fender is flowing? And it does. You can see it's considerably wider than the front now. Yeah, I mean, that line does go straight through.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fender looks like that. Like it's coming out on top. I'm gonna nip this and just bring it in just a little bit. See, that's what I'm getting at. That way this is straight up and down, the fender is pushed right up against it. It's interesting, we came up short on my first assessment. It looks like the smaller leftover tabs are right. I like it. Let's mock up the other side.
I'm over here trying to like figure out how you're gonna take that from point A to point B. It's magic.
Probably haven't seen this show before.
No, I have not.
Well, with a lot of luck and a little welding rod, seems to work out. Multi-tool.
What do you say?
Multi-tool
Uh-huh.
does everything.
It really does.
This is landing just behind. Four and a half right to the center of this divot. Yeah, so we got that vertical. The back's going to want to reach out. So back here are from the seam 5.5. Right between those two. Yeah. You gotta go away. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna need a piece 5 inches. So I'm getting where this tab is gonna go about 1 3/4 behind that bolt hole. We are at about roughly 5 1/4. So if you go from the old bodied parting line to the peak is 5 3/4. Yeah, it's got to come out just a 1/2 inch more. So we're at 1 3/4 behind. Just gonna pin that right there, real quick underneath, temporarily. About halfway, right there. All right, so that's just a real quick something to hold it in place scenario. What we've got represented is the fenders are vertical, the face of the fenders are vertical, and they're wider, much wider than they were.
I think it looks good.
Huh?
I think it looks good.
Has a much more graceful curve than the Cadillac, as Victor was
Yeah.
saying. He
Yeah.
likes the...
Yeah, I like how it looks. I think it looks cool.
So just to pin this together, right? We don't know what this is going to be yet. He had some ideas about the roof, etc. But I think I'm going to just do a few more tabs just to hold this in place. I'm going to want to cut this somewhere here and bring this forward and piece that in. But for now, just for simplicity's sake, I don't want a bunch of stuff loose in the breeze. So I think I'm going to put a couple tabs on here and then bring in the roof center section and take a look at it, because these fenders are a sure thing. That's what he said. Raise it 2 inches and bring them out wider. So that's what we got. This is also something to consider, is how these move in and out. I'm going to tack this and then we'll stand back and take a look. Yeah, that just keeps that from shifting. Should we get a little tremor, earth tremor, or who knows what else? And all this gets cut out from underneath, like so many of the other things you see me mock it up. I think I'm gonna bring that roof in. And we have our fender layout. The English wheel thing will be a challenge, but I'm talking about a little transformation. How wide it is.
Hold on.
That is, I don't even know if that fits out the garage door.
Uh-oh.
I have to take it out that door.
Someone asked if Victor has a trailer wide enough for this.
That's a concern. I mean, just to say, you know, that rear end is a full-size Lincoln car, Mark 7. Here, hold this to where you think is basically the outside of that fender. Oh, we're good. 7 feet.
Oh, okay.
So it's wide, but it's 7 feet wide. That's not like outside of a trailer. Trailer inside, I think it's like 90 something inches. So 7 feet is 84 inches. So 96 is 8 foot. So even if you had like a 92 inside, you probably wouldn't be able to open the door once you got in an enclosed trailer or something with rails, but it'll get on the trailer. He's talking about this boat tail thing. I don't know. That's going to be tough to make out of this square roof, but let's just cut off that skin and just get a feel for how a potential surface height could look here. Bunch of people have said, oh, get another hood, right? It's perfect. Look at the car hood. That in the back would be great. But we're also trying to do something homemade and unique that doesn't look like a car hood was just stuck on the back. Let's drag that roof in here.
You're always carrying roofs around. I've seen you carry more roofs
Right?
in these past few weeks than like ever.
Yeah. It's a big piece of metal. It's a nice thing to have. So you save them. So yeah. What if we reversed it? See this nice dome? Like what if it came off the seat back and just like kind of cut down, right? I don't know. I'm going to cut the whole skin right off of the frame. And my first thought was flipping it around because that nice curve seems like it could potentially come right off of the seat back instead of just like a generic panel slapped on there, but maybe, maybe not. Authentic Godzilla soundtrack. Never when you need it.
Oh.
I mean, it could work. It's a little bit taller than I'd like to see it.
I think you're gonna have to do I think you're gonna have to do some major Ian Roussel magic to get that to
Well, you've come to the right channel. I think we can work with it.
If anybody can.
Look at the back. Look at the way that roof got that little V coming back. That's kind of interesting. Everything starts somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, Victor. Mind coming by this afternoon? I know it's only an hour and a half drive, but I got a couple of questions.
Well, the kind of cool thing is, though, about doing this on YouTube kind of in real time is we can post this, or I can even just share this without, posting it, and he can see it before you fully commit. That's one thing I like about this, because I know with Full Custom Garage, that was a struggle.
Think about slicing this down the middle. Bring it up a spell. Like, I like this rolling forward, but it's definitely way high. It's too tall.
Yeah.
It needs to come down, down, down. But I really do like how this offers that. This works with the fenders really nice. Right there. But it's got to come down. Yeah, so that's centered. I want to see it drop a lot. So if we cut through here, I'm gonna get my chalk. Yeah, step back here and look at it from the back 3/4. It's like, I like this. It's got to come down though. But just to say, roughly about as high as that. Got to come down at least 4 inches. So I mean 4 right there. And we'll just follow this. Do that. That helps.
Yeah, that looks way better.
A lot nicer. Yeah. I could see this kind of like coming down. Then what about the back? Like, I really like this here. Wonder we wouldn't just cut this off and trace it up here. Bring it right in. Trying to get a general feel for the flavor. Just to say, that is 19 inches away. So let's just shorten this to all 15 and see what we come up with.
Sorry if the camera is a little shaky, everyone. We're having another
Wind event?
wind event.
Say it isn't so. It's been 24 hours since the last wind event.
So if it's a little shaky, I apologize.
Oh, come on now. It's just Monday morning. Educated guesswork keeps me in business. Look at that. It's another visor. The visor business. Perfect. All right, let me grab a rubber block. Actually, I'm going to tack that right on because this wind is going to deform everything. I can feel it. So this is being a little deceptive. So what I'm seeing here, maybe I'll get some paper out. So we're going to want, like this, you're going to want lights around this way. And then you're going to want this fender to kind of come in.
I just can't believe you're taking all these different parts from different cars and different parts of the car to like make a...
Yeah, a term I heard in the art foundry I was never familiar with. I guess it's like a model making thing. I think I've talked about this before. He called it kit bashing. Did I bring that term up before?
Yeah, you have.
We have different kits. Same thing. It's just Cadillac, Zephyr, Cadillac roof, Cadillac trunk. All the things. And I'm out of paper.
Uh-oh.
Now what? So this fender's gotta bulge up. See, this is misleading right here because the fender is gonna come from somewhere in here. So if we had two Zephyr fenders, you would just put it together like that. It'd be beautiful. But we don't. And I know Victor's gonna change. No matter what I do back here, he's gonna be like, yeah, we gotta do this. So I know, right? I know when to stop. So this is a good starting point right here. But it's I wish I had a piece of paper, at least one. How the heck does that happen? It seemed like we had so many. These are back here. No, when I go down to Victor's, I'm gonna have to get some.
Well, we are going to be taking a field trip down there
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. This is a heavier material, but this will work. See, this is going to represent the fender here. But we're going to want to cut this. Yeah, I'm looking right down here at the roof. It's hiding within, so what I'm seeing is that here. This is going to kind of come like this. A little Rolo in it. Let's see how this changes right here. This is going to come like that. Down like that. This is where the English wheel comes in, because all this paper is allowing it to do is be a flat panel. You see, this is curved in two ways. So we need to turn this shape into that curve. See what we're getting right here? See? So this is going to be even more. It's going to be in here like this. All right, so you got some reference points starting. Now this looks pretty cool, but I feel like this, I want to come into here, like that. Right, so we're getting this is all just loose interpretation because it's the metal that counts in the end. It's just a starting point. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. But this here, I think we're going to want to come in like that. I don't know, what do you think?
I like it.
Definitely works with the front. Let's cut two of those out of steel and see what happens. We're going to cut two of these. I think we're going to be out as soon as we lay this up. Be able to send Victor some photos. All right, so this will be a little bit easier to read in steel. You can see it holds its shape. It's got a line, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely different side to side, but you work on that. I mean, this is a loose idea. It's going to need a lot more shape. If you look at it from the front, one thing we're going to need to work on the English wheel is this. See how flat this is?
Mm-hmm.
We want that crowned. So this would be the starting point. Those pieces are a little oversized, And we're gonna, next time, bring out that thing and see if we can't put some shape in it.
English
Right? See
wheel.
that? You're gonna want something that mimics that with that center ridge. I don't know. We're gonna see what the man thinks. But either way, I'm gonna start messing around with that. I'll probably work on one side and come up with an idea so it looks really cool when we get to the video. Come on back.